While we have other stars in the league being incredibly toxic and getting mad over simple things like inbounds passes,
to start things off for his next career. And a steal by Bridges, and he puts it back in.
we have the toxicity-free Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic embracing the opportunity to play together, being model teammates, saying things like this before they even stepped foot onto the court together.
I think this is gonna be my first time seeing like one of those bad Europeans come over and really dominate up close and have the opportunity to do it at a pace that I don't think has ever been seen before, other than like Larry Bird or like somebody else that just plays at their own pace, scores a bunch of points, and is constantly in that MVP conversation every year just because he commands that much attention. So as much as I can alleviate for him, as much as I can lead alongside him, willing to do, but there's no pressure here. Nothing's forced with me and him. I just want to play basketball and enjoy his talent and enjoy my teammates' talent and work towards the championship.
Now, before anybody gets mad, the Harden and Embiid stuff was a joke. While I'm joking about it, it's clear that Harden didn't find anything funny about what went down in Brooklyn, as he's basically been stating his case every opportunity he gets, absolving himself from any sort of blame and not really being shy about it.
Now, fast forward to date, I don't look like the crazy one. You know what I mean? I don't look like the guy that, or the quitter or whatever, you know what I mean? The media want to call me. Like, I knew what was going on, and I just decided to, hey, I'm not built for this. Like, I don't want to deal with that. You know what I mean? I want to play basketball and have fun and enjoy doing it. And fast forward to today, they got a whole new roster.
Harden is really out here giving them the "it's not me, it's you" line. In hindsight though, is Harden really wrong? Because to me he's not, and also he wasn't at the time. As we all know, hindsight can be 20/20, but I guess that you could say that Harden had a crystal clear view in real time and used that view to find what he believed to be greener pastures. To me, it's kind of surreal that every player that was a member of that Nets Big Three is now playing for another franchise. It took me a while to process this whole Kyrie Irving to the Dallas Mavericks stuff. One moment, the Brooklyn Nets are in the middle of what felt like a promising season, playing incredibly well when KD was healthy. The next moment, I'm looking at my iPhone in disbelief, reading the same notification over and over again that states that Kyrie Irving is being traded to the Dallas Mavericks for Spencer Dinwiddie, Dorian Finney-Smith, and picks. I find it pretty funny that Kyrie's trade request took Kevin Durant of all people by surprise.
Yeah, I was upset that we couldn't finish. I thought we would have some good momentum. We were finally building the culture that we always wanted. I felt like every game we were building our chemistry. But I didn't know what was going on with Kyrie and his situation with the organization, so I didn't really focus on that. I only focused on what we were doing on the court, and it was a blow to our team. It just took away our identity. He was a huge, huge part of what we do. His game, he's a Hall of Fame player, a great, great player that can do everything on the floor, and we relied on that. So without him, we didn't have a clear identity. So that was tough for me to stomach, and I loved playing with those guys throughout the year. I felt like we had dudes that were stepping up and doing stuff that they didn't do on their previous team. So I enjoyed everything about it, and it was tough to not finish the season, but I just tried to move forward as quickly as I can and try to figure something out for myself, but also still focus on trying to rehab and get back. So it all happened so fast, but I'm glad it worked out this way.
Bear in mind that Kevin Durant had a pretty loud trade request himself earlier this past summer. Perhaps one of the most interesting things to me is how things have gone down since Kyrie's arrived in Dallas, and we'll have to get into that, but first, All-Star Weekend is upon us, and thankfully PrizePicks is adding to the fun, offering a ton of different projections for this weekend's events. PrizePicks will have player projections for the three-point shootout, the slam dunk contest, the Rising Stars game, the All-Star game, and more. For those that don't know, PrizePicks is super simple. All you have to do is pick 2 to 6 squares, and if those players will have more or less than their PrizePicks projection. Guys, let me know what you think of my picks down in the comments below, and also let me know some of your favorite picks for this weekend. If you guys haven't signed up for PrizePicks yet, just click the link in the description and use code COOP when you do so that you can get your deposit matched for up to $100. And remember guys, PrizePicks is also legal in states like Texas, California, Florida, and more. At this point in Kyrie's career, nobody is questioning the talent or his offensive ability, as they all know that he's one of the best offensive players in the league that has a unique knack for finding a way to put the ball in the basket. Kyrie is averaging 27.2 points, 5.1 rebounds, and 5.4 assists this season, shooting 48.6% from the field and 37.4% from three. But if you ask me, those averages really don't do him justice when we're talking about how impactful that he is on the basketball floor. A lot of people view Kyrie as just this fantastic scorer, and while he is incredibly good at scoring, he does so much more than that on the basketball floor. To repeat myself, when Kyrie is locked in, he can be flat out legendary. But also, to repeat myself, unfortunately, nobody is questioning his talent. They're questioning every single thing that comes with that talent. Regardless, the Mavericks saw opportunity and deemed that the risk was well worth the reward of getting their generational talent, the star that they've coveted for so long. When Kyrie landed in Dallas, the initial reports were that he couldn't be happier about his future, but that still wouldn't stop people from worrying about it with him saying this. I'm probably going to get some hate for this, but I can't really blame Kyrie for this response.
I would love to just have a respect of you guys and everybody the rest of the season of just like continuously asking me that, because it just puts unwarranted distractions on us and our team. And
why give a strong commitment when you have no idea what the rest of the season is going to look like or what the future holds? There's a chance that Kyrie can end up hating Luka by the end of the season. And who is that front office going to choose? Obviously, Luka Doncic. And then what clip would everybody come back and play if Kyrie gave a commitment? At this point, I'm sure Kyrie is just tired of all the extra nonsense. So for everybody that panicked because of this response, I just say don't do it. Not yet anyways. Take this with a grain of salt, but Woj believes that it's more likely than not that Kyrie will remain in Dallas after this season. February 11th, the duo of Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic would get their debut. In this debut, Kyrie would drop 28 points, 7 assists, and 7 rebounds while going 11 of 21 from the field. Meanwhile, Luka would also drop 27 points while recording 5 assists and 9 rebounds while also going 11 of 20 from the field. These numbers wouldn't be that special for Kyrie Irving or Luka Doncic, but at the end of the day, that's still 55 points, 12 assists, and 16 rebounds coming from just 2 players. I'm sure Luka would much rather that than having to record that stat line by himself. As much as I love those dumb stat lines that Luka is more than capable of putting up, we've seen that 37.4% usage that's second only to Giannis start to weigh on him before, especially in the playoffs, and I didn't really want to say it, but also this season. I hate to bring this up, but let's hope that Luka locks in on his conditioning for the foreseeable future. To get back to what I was saying, what Kyrie does for Dallas is he diversifies their attack. Put your best defender on Luka if you want to, but you better have another one for Kyrie. Life is different when you have 2 tier 1 offensive players. He's going to make things so much easier for Luka. Don't be surprised if you see Luka's 3-point percentage go up playing with Kyrie Irving. People see that 34.9% that Luka shoots from deep and they assume that he's a mediocre 3-point shooter. They do this without factoring in the quality or difficulty of his looks. Luka has to create a nasty amount of his own shots. Luka actually shoots 45.2% on catch and shoot threes. The problem is that he's taking less than 1 a game. While Luka's admitted that playing off ball will be a learning process, he's excited for what it can bring. Ky's and Luka's debut together against Sacramento made it seem like this duo had been playing together for so long. But yet, the final moments of overtime would still leave Luka with some regret, as he would go on to miss the final shot. To quote Luka, "It's my bad, I should have gave it back to Kai. For me, it's still a learning process, but for sure I should have gave it back. He was really hot down the stretch, so that was on me for sure." Have you guys heard of the saying that history repeats itself? The following game, Kyrie would go berserk, dropping 26 points in the fourth quarter, leading a comeback against the Timberwolves that this team had no business making. Kyrie's play had the Mavericks within striking distance at the end of the game. Kyrie dropped 26 points in the fourth quarter by himself. With the score at 121 to 124, all the Mavericks would need is a 3 to send this game into overtime. Luka knew that, and he knew that Kyrie was hot, so he got the ball to Kyrie. And then Kyrie got the ball back to Luka. This game, the final possession for the Mavericks, was very awkward. They failed to get a shot up, and they would go on to lose the game. In the words of Jason Kidd, they were playing catch with one another, so the next step is figuring out who's going to shoot it, and that's going to take a little time. I don't know what it is about J Kidd, but this guy stays saying something hilarious post-game. Now, not to take away from the great defense that was played by McDaniels, who I've been telling you guys about, or Anthony Edwards, but the Mavericks had to get a shot up here, and they know that. Now, the losses sting, and the defense is worrisome, ranking 23rd in ranking since acquiring Kyrie, but that's to be expected, and sadly, that's around where the Mavericks defense was already. I just ask that you guys give this unit some time to mesh on that end. Look, I know I'm being incredibly positive given the lack of defensive talent, but they really don't have to be amazing on that side of the basketball. They just have to be competitive or passable. Offensively, I've liked what I've seen out of this team. They look confident, the ball is moving, they look like a unit. If they could get that same effort and cohesion on the defensive side of the basketball, then watch out. If Kyrie buys in, I really think that he'll continue to elevate this ball club. And look, I know that they have lost a couple of games, but if you watch the games, you could see the promise and the fluidity that this team was playing with. Mavs fans, here's to hoping that Kyrie's lower back tightness that kept him out of February 15th game against the Nuggets is no big deal. As much as I love the gamble on Kyrie, he doesn't have the greatest injury history, and again, he comes with some risk, but hey, at worst, at least the Mavs get another star for this season and more cap flexibility. In my next Mavericks video, I'll definitely touch more on what's going on with Christian Wood. I can't lie, I was shocked that this guy made it past the trade deadline. It's pretty clear the kid hates him. Also in my next Mavericks video, I'll touch on what Josh Green, Maxey, and of course my guy Jaden Hardy bring to this team. Still mad that this team didn't get a legit paint presence, but that's a topic for another video. Let me know what you guys think of everything. Clicking the video on the screen right now is a great way to support my channel. I'm GetLikeCoop, bringing you guys the scoop until our next upload.